My not so humble opinion, there's two things wrong I see with working a 9 to 5 job. First and foremost is what people do without even having a conscious mind that they're doing it. They identify their job. Every time you talk to somebody, oh, my job, this job, we got to do this. Why are you upset? My job, this. Where do you work? I work here and I do this, and this is my title, and and they just keep going on and on and on and on. Their identity is within their job. Their whole personality is their job. They have no personality. Outside of their job, they can't think straight. Outside of their job, they can't move straight. Outside of their job, they don't recognize the person in the mirror. Another thing that's wrong with working a 9 to 5 job is a dream crusher. Yes, yes, yes. You ever met those people that want to do something outside of work, but work is whooping their ass so much that guess what? They too tired. They can't go do it. Maybe they want to lose weight. And they always say this, especially if you work a job like I do in the warehouse, they always say, well, I use this job as the gym. Or they say something like, well, I will work on this, but I be so tired from this job. I got to work all this overtime. This overtime is killing me.
All right, let's stop it right here. Let's talk about what he said so far. So he believes that there are people that are that absorbed with their job that it takes over their entire identity. I've never met anybody that absorbed with their job, that your job is your entire identity. If that is the case, I would have to agree with him. If your job is your entire identity, that is an issue. And let's just be real. There are some drawbacks to letting your job become your entire identity, like he said. But I've never heard somebody's personality being based upon their job. Like, that's new to me. Never heard nobody say that before. But when it comes to a person, let's just for a moment assume that what he's saying is accurate. Somebody is so absorbed with their job, it's their entire personality. If that's the case, if you lose that job, you're going to be crushed. And maybe that does happen to some people, now that I think about it. But talking about being crushed, he's talking about a 9 to 5 is a dream crusher. I think that that's a load of crap. 9 to 5s do not crush people's dreams. What crush people's dreams can be other people, but in many times it's yourself. If a person feels like their dream has been crushed 9 times out of 10, it's due to them accepting that they are no longer going to pursue that dream for whatever reason. Nothing is stopping any person that is working a 9 to 5 to pursue other work, to pursue other endeavors, or to pursue their dream when they get off work. Now, does that mean that you always gonna feel like doing it? No. But usually it's the things that come with the challenge, that come with warm work, that come with you having to do them when you don't feel like doing them, that often have the highest return on investment, which is what makes them so sweet. Once you get over that hump, once you have scaled that mountain, it's like, man, look at what I was able to do. I know what that's like. When I was working a corporate job, I mean, I was an auditor, right? I was an IT auditor. And when busy season hit, bro, you're not talking about no regular 8-hour shift, man. We talking 10, 12 hours. And don't let it be some issue where we're on some deadline or some clock and we gotta stay in there until we get the dang thing done. Like, I remember those days. It wasn't no joke. But you know what I did? At the time, I was doing a lot of stuff back then. I was running a successful podcast. I had a YouTube channel at that time. I did Twitter chats back in the day. And I think at one point I was even doing a live show. I was doing all of that, but I was managing it. Oh no, I wasn't doing the live streams then. I was actually running a blog. I had a blog where other people would submit articles and stuff, and I get them up there. I was doing all of that outside of my 9 to 5 job because that's what I enjoyed doing. It was before I decided to be like, yo, I'm taking this leap of faith and I'm going in pursuit of my purpose. But I recognize I gotta build that foundation. It never killed my dream. When I was at my 9 to 5, I knew what I loved and enjoyed doing. I knew it wasn't there at that job, but I knew that that job was serving a purpose. It was allowing me to stack some paper. It was allowing me to be able to experience things that I had never had in my life. Like, that job that I got right out of college, man, it opened so many doors. It broadened my horizons, and I wouldn't have traded it in for nothing. Honestly, looking back years later, I wish I would have stayed longer before I made that leap to leave. But you know what they say, hindsight is always 2020. So I don't really buy that whole excuse of you're too tired to work. If you really want something bad enough, you will put in the work. And this is what I know from my experience. Maybe you can relate to it as well, which is when you really love and enjoy doing something, even when you're tired, it will energize you. It will energize you to the point where it's like, man, I know I just worked this long shift, but I want to do this so bad. Like I want to go have this podcast convo. I want to go, do this live show. I want to go do whatever it is that you enjoy doing. And when it comes to a lot of people, I feel like the reason why they struggle to pursue their dreams while also working a 9 to 5 is because they lack essential planning. They don't know how to plan and incorporate whatever it is that they want to pursue or do in their life into their schedule, into their life. And that's the main key. But let's get back to what this brother had to say.
Which I can understand. I understand that you have to work overtime. I understand that you have to clock in for your 40 hours. But 40 hours, it's not an excuse to me to not work on something outside of work.
I'm glad you
sorry,
realized
I don't care what you do. I work a hard laboring job, and I still go do what I need to do outside of my 60 hours per week. So in my day-to-day, as I'm working, I see people losing their dreams. I see people identifying as their job. I see people's bodies being torn up, being destroyed, being just being careless with their eating habits. Because to them, things are so hard. Anxiety, their cortisol is so high that if they don't do something connected to their job, they feel like they're not doing anything at all. Meaning that if you don't identify as your job, you feel weird. If you do something outside of your job that's making you money, you feel weird. So weird to where you self-sabotage. And I've seen it plenty of times where somebody is doing something exceptional outside their job, but they get so paranoid. The anxiety just takes over.
Key word is self-sabotage.
Identifying as a job. They stop pursuing their dreams. They stop pursuing that business. They stop pursuing that weight loss journey. There's plenty of things I see wrong with working a 9 to 5 job as an average person. But those two things, they stick out the most to me.
This right here is a perfect example of somebody mislabeling the true problem. The true problem is not the 9 to 5. The 9 to 5 job is not causing the problem. The main issue here is the person. He even kept saying it himself. Like, you can't make excuses. You should still be able to do this. They feel like, right? He's saying that even they self-sabotage. You do realize that the problem is not the 9 to 5 job. The problem is the individual. Nobody can lose a dream. They can only give up on it. They can only stop pursuing it. If you think the 9 to 5 is the problem, you the problem. The way you think is the problem, because the real issue, the real reason why people are unable to pursue their dreams and live the dream life that they desire is because of their own choices. And that's the thing that we got to start keeping it a buck with people. If you're not living the life you want, it's because of your own choices. Now, you don't even have to take an approach of saying that, oh, it's everything that you did in the past. We know that that got you to where you are, but there's no reason why you can't do what they say, become present and start making the right choices in the present. Every day in the present moment, you have to make a choice what you're going to do. And if you are making a choice to say, oh, I'm going to get off work and I'm going to just go watch TV. I'm going to just go lay down. I'm going to just go do this. Instead of pursuing that dream, you just made a choice to give up on your dream a little bit more each and every day. And don't even get me started on not even the dream pursuit, but healthy eating. Like, I mean, come on. There's no excuse for you not to be eating healthy. All you have to do is plan out what you're going to eat. Even if you talk about not going to the gym, yo, you can walk, get your steps in. You ain't got to be out there doing no major workout in this season of your life if that is not possible for you. But there's no excuse not to be able to eat and live a healthy lifestyle. If you're choosing to be lazy, that's on you. That's completely on you. So that's my take on this. I feel like the 9 to 5 is not the problem. The problem is the person themselves and the choices that they are making. We'll love to hear your thoughts. If you want to share them in the comments, feel free to do so. Until next time, I'm Jay. Stay blessed.